and Mr. Peterson, Harriet. They're here from Snap Magazine.
How do you do?
Hi. If you'll excuse me, I'd like to get some atmosphere shots of the campus.
Oh, yes, do that, Pete.
Snap has picked Miss Brooke as the model American teacher.
Oh, that's wonderful, Miss Brooks. And what a coincidence.
Coincidence, Harriet?
Yes. When I read about it, I sat right down and wrote them a letter recommending you.
Well, thank you, Harriet.
But of all the silly things to do, I forgot to put a stamp on it. It just came back the other day.
That's just like a child of your age, Harriet.
What do you mean, child, Walter?
You see, Stephanie, this is the infant I allow to toddle at my heels when I'm not involved with some more glamorous creature like yourself.
Walter Denton, what's gotten into you?
On this crummy morning, Walter's become a man of the world.
Well, I'd better find a place to park. All those that want to better get out here, Miss Brooks.
You little hinter, you.
Well, I'll go with you, Walter, and then walk you back to school.
I was hoping you would.
Miss Brooks, I don't like the way that woman looks at Walter.
I don't like the way that woman looks, period.
She certainly is chic, in a Cobra-like sort of way. Has she seen Mr. Boynton yet?
Bite your tongue, girl.
Well, I think you ought to get permission from Daddy before you go through with this interview. After all, he is Madison's principal.
Harriet, you've given me an idea. I must admit I kind of liked all the attention because I thought it would make Mr. Boynton sit up and take notice. But I never stopped to think that he might sit up and notice the wrong thing.
Well, maybe Daddy won't consent to the interview. Then she'll have to clear right out.
Harriet, you are wise beyond your years. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to beg for your father's unpermission.
Come in.
Could I talk to you for a moment, Mr. Conklin?
I'm all ears, Miss Brooks.
Yes. Mr. Conklin, Snap Magazine wants to do a layout on me as a model teacher for 1948.
You, Miss Brooks?
Isn't it ridiculous? They've sent a Miss Forrest and a Mr. Peterson to take pictures of me and the unpainted school and the overcrowded classrooms and the strained looks on the faces of the pupils.
I can't allow that, Miss Brooks.
Of course you can't. I mean, you can't?
Certainly not. It's beneath the dignity of Madison High.
Way beneath, Mr. Conklin.
I've always looked upon Madison High and its teachers as my family. And it's the first rule of a family that its problems be kept to itself.
Strictly to itself.
We should not hang out our wash for every Tom, Dick, and Harry to see.
Tom, Dick, and Harry should not see our wash, no.
It won't do you any good to argue, Miss Brooks. I've made up my mind. Publicity is nothing but a cheap parasitic device designed to prey on the unfettered appetites of the unsuspecting. Publicity is...
Excuse me, the door was open, so... Oh, you must be Mr. Conklin. I've been looking forward to meeting you, Mr. Conklin. I'm Stephanie Forrest of Snap Magazine.
Won't you sit down, Miss Forrest? I'll be with you in a moment. As I was saying, Miss Brooks, publicity is the foremost blessing of our century. It makes the unknown known. It brings information and joy into the home of everyone.
I can just see Tom, Dick, and Harry peeking at my wash.
Miss Forrest, I was just explaining to Miss Brooks what this wonderful exploitation will mean to Madison High and its problems.
Oh, I'm so glad you see it that way, Mr. Conklin. You and I will have to work together on this. I'll need your advice on so many things.
Of course, Miss Forrest.
Oh. Well, let's not be so formal. You can call me Stephanie.
And you can call me Osgood.
You can call me a doctor. I'm ill.
Well, then it's all settled. I'll get a hold of Pete and we'll start shooting Miss Brooks at once.
Fine. I'll bring my own blindfold.
Excuse me, Mr. Conklin, but I didn't know you were busy, sir.
Well, I am Boynton. You'd better come back later.
So you're Mr. Boynton. Well, no wonder I've heard so much about Madison's biology department.
Well, thank you, Miss...
Don't look at me. I never saw her before in my life.
Miss Brooks has such a quaint sense of humor. My name is Stephanie Forrest.
but you can call her Miss Forrest if you want to live to see your frogs again.
Oh, what's that, Miss Brooks?
Never mind Miss Brooks now, Boynton.
What do you mean now?
Miss Brooks, will you stop mumbling? Boynton, Miss Forrest here is going to do a story on Miss Brooks for Snap magazine.
Oh, really? Then they must have picked you as the model teacher. Well, that's wonderful, Miss Brooks. You know, I was going to write in and suggest your name myself, but then I got all wrapped up in my pigmentation experiments and neglected to do so.
Well, it's nice to know that you thought of me.
Well, now that you're here, Boynton, what is it you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, sir, it's something I need for my guinea pigs, but I'd rather talk to you when you're alone.
Oh, come now, Mr. Boynton. You mustn't keep anything back from a reporter.
What is it you need for the creatures, Boynton?
I'd rather not say in mixed company, sir.
Oh, come now. We're over 21.
Some of us are way over.
Oh, come on, Boynton, out with it. What do you need for those guinea pigs?
Well, if you insist, hormones.
Well, that's peculiar behavior. You ran right out of the room.
Well, I guess I'd better be running along too, Mr. Conklin.
Just a minute, Miss Forrest. Shouldn't we give the quarry a few minutes head start?
Right you are. Now.
Quiet, boys and girls. As some of you know, I have been chosen by Snap magazine as the model American schoolteacher of 1948. Thank you, boys and girls. And now I'd like you to meet Miss Forrest, Snap's layout editor. Quiet, boys.
Thank you, class. Now, before we take any pictures, Miss Brooks, would you please ask those boys standing in the back of the room to sit down?
They are sitting down, Miss Forrest. They're sitting on the top of the desks.
But why?
Well, with the room as crowded as it is, I use them as lifeguards.
Lifeguards?
Yes, they keep the smaller children from being shoved into the inkwells.
Snap magazine sits in while Miss Constance Brooks acts as faculty advisor.
Philosophy Club will now come to order.
Miss Brooks, I must be fixing your makeup between classes. You're making yourself look like a school teacher.
Just that so many school teachers I've met bear such a marked resemblance to human beings.
Well, we'll just stick a few pencils in your hair and throw a little chalk dust on your suit. There, that's better. Now, just continue as if I weren't here.
That'll be a pleasure. Now, let's get on with the meeting, Walter.
Yes, ma'am. Our subject is, should a high school graduate turn to teaching as a career? But what I mean, Miss Brooks, is in the face of our inflated economy, what security is there in the teaching profession?
Well, Walter, the way I figure it is this. When I first started to teach school, $1 was worth $1. Last year, $1 was worth 60 cents, and this year it's worth 40 cents. So if I were earning more, I'd be getting poorer all the time. Thus, by being a school teacher, I'm actually saving for a rainy day.
Snap joins Miss Brooks for lunch in the school cafeteria.
Thanks so much for getting my lunch, Mr. Boynton.
You're very welcome, Miss Brooks. Here's your change. Let's see. I'm the Swiss on rye. You're the stuffed tomato.
And, what am I?
Now, there's an opening you could drive a truck through. Miss Forrest, is Pete going to take any pictures while I'm eating?
In a few minutes. He's getting a bite himself right now.
Oh, good. Then you'll have time to smear some mayonnaise on my nose.
Frankly, darling, I'm not terribly interested in you at the moment. Mr. Boynton, when we chased you into your laboratory before, you wouldn't tell us whom you were taking to the malt hop this afternoon.
Well, I really don't know if I should leave my work, you see.
Oh, there you are, Stephanie. I've been looking all over for you. You're going to the hop with me, aren't you?
Well, I can't tell yet, Walter.
Good afternoon, folks. Miss Forrest, as principal of Madison High, I feel that it is my very pleasant duty to invite you to the faculty-student dance this afternoon.
Well, really, Mr. Conklin, I don't know if I'll be finished with my work. That is, could I give you my answer after I've eaten? I haven't had a bit of lunch.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Forrest. I'll go get you a tray.
I'll get you a knife and fork.
If you'll just take my arm, Miss Forrest, I'll personally escort you to the steam table. Oh, no, it isn't.
Hi, Miss Brooks. Shall we have lunch together?
No, thanks, Harriet. I'm quite full. I've just eaten my heart out.
I saw what happened just now.
Well, it's my own fault, Harriet. My sins have come to roost.
Well, what do you mean, Miss Brooks?
I knew it. I just knew it.
Knew what?
I knew I shouldn't have sent that wire to Snap Magazine recommending me as the model teacher.
Eve Arden as our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment. But first,
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you Kay Daumit's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream, not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo and be a
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, things didn't work out quite as badly as I expected they would. Right before the dance, one of Mr. Boynton's guinea pigs had a blessed event. Triplets, in fact. And Mr. Boynton couldn't find a sitter for them anywhere. So he didn't even attend the hop. Walter Denton was kept in after school by his history teacher, and after a couple of dances with Mr. Conklin, Stephanie Forrest packed up her equipment, packed up Pete, and packed us in. Not long after that, I was sitting in the cafeteria one day when Walter rushed over all excited.
Miss Brooks, it's out. Snap Magazine with a 4-page spread of you as America's model teacher.
Let's see that, Walter.
Here, I've got it open to the story.
Oh, I'll read the story later. How about the cover? Is my picture on it?
Well, it says Portrait of Model School Teacher, Miss Brooks, but here, you better look for yourself.
How do you like that Stephanie Forrest? A blackboard eraser with teeth.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, Gloria McMillan, Mary Jane Croft, and Jack Crucian.
Dentists know what cleans teeth best. And over 4,000 dentists say Colgate Tooth Powder with a 2-minute routine gets teeth sparkling and super clean. So to remove dull film and get your teeth shining clean, just brush teeth and night with Colgate Tooth Powder. Brush inside, outside, and biting surfaces. Always brush away from the gums. See how this gets teeth naturally bright. It removes dull film that improper brushing misses. And Colgate Tooth Powder also sweetens your breath. Try it. Buy Colgate Tooth Powder today.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting, fun-packed adventures of an amateur Park Avenue detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evenings over most of these same stations.
And be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, where 99 million people gather every week, the Columbia Broadcasting System.